Very, very cheeky. Hi everyone, and welcome to the latest video. And in this one we're going to be working on this beautiful Art Deco style dressing table or vanity unit, depending on where you are in the world. This is a lovely piece of furniture. It's not true 1920s Art Deco. It's actually Art Deco inspired, and it's from the 1940s, but I will tell you more about that later in the video. The Art Deco theme, there's a reason for that. I'm actually doing this video as a collaboration with a friend of mine, Cole, who has his own furniture flipping restoration channel, and that's called Flip It Nation. You may have seen it, you more than likely have, and we're doing this together.
Hey there Mayfield restoration viewers, it's Cole from Flip It Nation. I'm super excited to be doing this Art Deco challenge collaboration with David and Daisy, of course. David's skills are much more polished than mine. I've seen his piece about halfway through and it already looked spectacular, so I'm super excited to see what he does with it. Enjoy the video and hopefully I'll see you on my channel afterwards. Cheers!
The reason we're doing it, we both love Art Deco furniture, and we just thought it'd be a bit of fun to do an Art Deco piece. We've both sourced a piece of Art Deco furniture and we want to see if we can make it beautiful again. I was really fortunate in that I had this in my stock, as I was given it by a friend who I used to work with some time ago. So we'll go through it in a bit more detail in a second, but as always, sit back, relax and enjoy, and thanks for watching. You're probably looking at this through the screen and thinking this isn't in terrible condition, and there's areas that aren't in that bad a condition, like the top, and there's a reason for that, and I'll show you that shortly. It has got some scratching on the top, which I'll show you in a second, but there is quite a lot of finish issues with this and broken veneer and some other issues. But the main standout features for me on this are these drawer handles, these drawer pulls. These are absolutely beautiful. I've never seen anything like that before. It's a really unusual piece of furniture, lots of lovely curves on it. And it's also got these curved cupboard doors, which are just so nice. Lots of storage in there. Really beautiful piece of furniture, so hopefully we can make it look stunning. But let's go around it in a bit more detail now. Like I say, the top isn't in terrible condition, and there's a reason for that. It has got a couple of scratches though. There's a big one there, and this is probably the one I'm most worried about. It's got these lovely oval details on it as well. I think they're solid oak. This is definitely veneered oak. But overall the top's not terrible. This is a little close-up view of these lovely pulls. Obviously they need work, but look at those, they're so nice. It's also got this lovely carved detail here. There's a little bit missing there, so we'll see if we can sort that out. The finish on the base is in terrible condition. Lots of scratches and dints. Obviously it's well worn, but we're going to remove all of this finish anyway. More lovely handles there, and in the cupboards they're not in terrible condition, they're not in bad condition at all, so I'm hoping I don't have to do too much with those. The drawers all seem okay, they're a little bit stiff, but that'll be no problem once we refinish it. It's also got, just bear with me 1 second. Oh, this is heavy. It's also got its mirror. So we'll just clean this up as well. You don't often get it with a mirror that's in as good a condition as this. But it's heavy. So all in all, it's in okay condition, but there is a lot of work. It's a big piece of furniture this, there's a lot of finish to remove, there's some repairs to do, need to clean all the hardware up, and it's going to take some time, but hopefully you'll enjoy the process, so let's crack on. I'm not too sure whether I want to strip the top with a chemical stripper or scrape it yet. If I'm going to scrape it, this is going to be a bit of a pain. Now, this has got some ornate caps on the top. I suspect, I don't know for 100%, but I suspect these are either screws or they're hiding a screw underneath. So hopefully we can get these off. Yeah, it's coming off. Yeah, that's just a little decorative cap. Hopefully you can see there, it just looks like a hole, so it's got a threaded hole in it, but this outside is a screw, and in the middle there is a little slot, so this should in theory just unscrew. Yeah, no idea what the proper name for these fixings is, but let me know in the comments if you do. But yeah, look. Obviously I don't want to break these screws because it's not something I've got. So that is solid oak. There we go. Obviously these are the doors, and as you can see there, they've got the bolt covers on. That one is really rusty. When I looked at that, I thought it was wood, but it's not. It's just completely rusted out, I think. Yeah, I think most of this hardware is going to go after in a rust bath. This hinge is a real pain. You can see how much rust is on it there. I think this piece must have been in either a damp environment or out in the rain or something, but there's a lot of rust on all the fittings, so I don't want to risk doing it with the electric screwdriver. It just doesn't want to budge. Right, let's try the heat trick. Right, this is the heat trick. Get a soldering iron. This is my new one actually. Got this from Lidl. Dead cheap. Turn it on. Just let that warm up. So the plan is you apply heat to these screws. They expand and they break the rusted seal inside. I think that's the plan anyway. It has worked in the past, but I need to hold this on for about 5 minutes, so I'll be back. Right, it's had a good few minutes this now. There we go. I think. Yep. There we go. Yeah, that's going in the bin. These are terribly rusty as well, as you can see. Right, all the hardware's off, and as you can see, it's not in the best of condition. All this is the mirror most of this is the mirror hardware. It's covered in rust. The hinges are rusty. The catches are rusty. All the screws are rusty. I'm not going to put the pulls in because they've got a finish on them and I don't want the rust remover to do anything to the finish. Probably same with those as well. I'll clean them up by hand. Right, let's give them a soak. As you all know, the star of my channel is Daisy. And for Cole, it's his little boy Sonny, who is an absolute superstar. So I thought I'd just give you a quick intro to Sonny. Did you catch it? You say thanks, Sonny. I just want to see how easy it is to scrape this finish off. I'm presuming this is shellac because of the age of the piece and how glossy it is. So it should, in theory, scrape quite easily, but we'll see. You can see the difference where that's been protected under that disc or oval. How much harder that is to scrape, whereas this, because it's had the sunlight on it. Do you know what? It's not that easy to scrape this. I think I'm going to use a stripper. I just want to go over it with some 4-0 steel wool and some stripper just to remove any of the last bits. Go with a grain. Okay. This detail in here, I'm not 100% sure whether this is wood. I don't think it is. I think it might be Bakelite. So obviously I don't want to be sanding this because old Bakelite sometimes had asbestos in it. So obviously I don't want to be doing too much that's abrasive to this. So I'll use paint stripper. Just leave that to do its thing. Right, this has had quite a few minutes now, probably about 10 minutes. So I'm just going to agitate the stripper into the details with a brush. Just get rid of the excess and see what we're dealing with. Right, this isn't a wire brush, it's just a nylon brush. Let that dry a bit more and then I'll brush off any excess and then we can neutralise the whole lot when it's done. Right, the next thing I need to do is obviously I need to fix this, but a lot of this veneer on this edge particularly is loose, starting to lift up. But before I fix that, I just want to make sure everything else is reinforced. pretty much all loose this. Right, I'll just go along there, glue that up and see where we get to. Okay, I'll check that other side now. If that needs doing, I'll do that as well. I've thoroughly checked the other side and that's the only loose veneer, so I'm not too sure why the other side was so bad, but that's not too bad. So I'll just leave that to dry now. Once I got it on its side, I had a look at the back end and there was a few areas on that as well. So I've done this side and I've done the other side. So I think the best thing to do now is while all that's drying, I'll move on to the drawers. I've no doubt as I go I'll probably find more little bits of veneer that have come loose, but that's all I can see for now, so we'll crack on. Hello. Hello. Have you come to say hello? Me? Good girl. If you, I don't know whether you can tell, but she's had a bit of a haircut, and the reason for that is she was getting far too hot in the recent. Shut up a minute, I'm talking. She was getting far too hot in the warm weather. I don't normally cut her that short, but I've cut her quite short this time. She looks, she doesn't look the best, but she feels a lot better, don't you? What? Oh, very, very cheeky. Do you want a cork then? Come on then, come get your cork. No, we're not going in. We're not going. Oh, right. What's the washing line? Ready? Steady, go! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh dear. What do you want? Okay. There you go. Happy now. You've got it caught under your leg, haven't you? Back to work. Right, it's time to attack these drawers and strip them. Right, let's leave that now. Right, this should be dry now. So the best way to take this off is that way rather than that way, because I don't want to pull any veneer back on itself. Phew. Okay. Obviously I've got some I need to repair, but I'll go around, take the rest of it off and then I'll get this finish off. I'm hoping you can see here when I brush it how bad the finish is. It's just flaking off. It's totally failed. So that's why this needed refinishing. Right, I've I've done all this side and that side now. All I've got to do is the inside of the pedestals. A word of advice, don't wear shorts when you're doing this on the floor, because I've knelt in this stripper about 4 times and burnt my legs. So I'm just going to strip the rest of it now. I'm sure you don't need to see all that, so I'll get on with that and I'll get back to you shortly. I've noticed the veneer's bubbling up in a couple of parts where the glue's failed, so it'll have been put on with high glue this, and I'm hoping I don't want to be taking this off obviously, so I'll just have to do either some spot repairs, or I can try applying heat right across it to see if that reactivates the old glue. But to be honest, there's not many of them, so I might just do a spot repair on them. I just need to get a bit of glue underneath. And I suspect, yeah, the other side will be the same. Right, it's now time to repair this veneer. This is the worst part on it. There's a piece missing there, one there, one there. This obviously is the largest piece of damage, and there's a little piece at the end down here. So I think the first thing we'll do is focus on this area. Right, this is oak, so I've got some oak. Obviously it's lighter because it's brand new, but it's the right type of wood, so we'll use some of this. Right. Okay. The rest of these little repairs, I can stick these down with tape, but this one is a bit bigger and it's on the curve, so I want to make sure this sits down and it doesn't raise up. So I've come up with a plan. Because it's on a curve, obviously a flat piece of wood won't do it, so I've got this bit of high density foam. So the plan is to clamp so that now follows the contour, so hopefully, fingers crossed, that does the job. They look a bit odd at the minute, but obviously once everything's sanded and coloured and what have you, they should blend in a lot better than that. Right, everything is stripped down now. It's taken quite a while. All the veneer repairs are done that I can see. I'm sure there'll be more as I start sanding this. You generally find that when you start sanding you see things you didn't see previously. So the next step is sanding, but before I do that I need to give this a thorough clean. I need to neutralise the stripper, but it's also filthy inside, so I'm going to give it a thorough clean in everything. So that's what we'll do next. I always love it when you see the original maker's handwriting. This just says, it's just got basically what this part is. Plinth end left. It says the operator number, the quality good, I think that says. Yeah, doesn't say the age, but I'll show you something in a second regarding the age. That's good, that. This is the manufacturer's mark on the back. Hopefully you can see that. That's a C, and there's another one there and it says 41. And underneath it there's a number which is 166, which is the manufacturer's code. And it's utility wear. CC41 is not utility wear, utility furniture. And it's just after the Second World War, so I think, I'll check the dates, but I think it's round about mid-40s, so definitely not 1920s Art Deco, but certainly in the style. These metal sliders, there should have been 6 on each by the look of it. There's one missing there, there's one missing there, one missing there, one missing there. The rusty, and also these tend to scratch wooden floors, which a lot of people have now, so I'm going to change these out. Right, I'll do that on the rest. Okay. Do the same on the other end, we're done. Right, the best laid plans. I was putting these in the other side, and obviously this plinth looks like it's been glued in the past, and look at that. As I've banged it in, it's split the glue. What a pain. So I just need to re-glue that now. Never mind. Okay, just leave that to dry. Right, so all the repairs are done that I can see. I've wiped it all down, it's now fully dry, it's the next day, so it's just time to start sanding. these doors, because they've got quite a curve on them, so I'm going to use this smaller sander, 90mm sander, with a sponge pad. I've just noticed as I'm sanding this, there's a little piece of veneer. I knew this had happened. I just come across things I haven't seen before. Little piece of veneer there, little piece of veneer there, so I need to fix those. Because these are so small, I'm just going to use a bit of CA glue or super glue. I've also glued this edge. The veneer was lifting a bit in some places. Right, another job done. Nearly finished with the sanding now. It's taken forever. It's a big piece this, it might not look it, but it is a big piece. There's a lot of surfaces. So we'll give this a go now. Again, 240 grit. I just want to show you something on this. I don't know whether you can see this, but there, all the way through this, there's scratches going up the grain, going across the grain. Now I don't know whether they're saw marks. You can see one better there, but these are all over this. So I need to sand them out as much as I can without going through the veneer. So wish me luck. My goodness, that took some sanding. Something else I forgot about this little bit of veneer that's missing from earlier. So just a little bit of filler. Okay. I'm having a nightmare. I thought I've cleaned the back, but I just thought it looks a bit messy. I'll just give it a tidy up with the light sanding. And as I'm doing it, I went too near the edge of the piece that I've just spent the last 8 hours sanding. And look what's happened. The sander hit the veneer and just ripped it out from the edge. So now I've got to do yet another veneer repair. I've done so many on this as I've gone on. I haven't filmed it all because it was all the same, but the veneer on this is so fragile. Right, I'm not going to sand the back of this now. I'm just going to make it look a bit more even, clean it up with some white spirit and fix that. Right, let's crack on. Right, I've sort of cleaned it up a little bit at the back. It's not ideal, but I need to keep away from them edges. As you can see, I hit the other edge as well, so I've had to repair 2 pieces there and that huge piece that I showed you before. So hopefully that's it for repairs. Okay. So finally everything is sanded. Obviously this is just had those veneer repairs done, so this is drying. One of the other drawers, I found another crack on that, so I fixed that. That's drying. But everything's sanded up to 240 grit. I just need to get all the dust off it now, ready for stain, finally. What a job. This is what she does to try and get my attention. Oh, now you've done it. Uh-oh. You've done that on purpose. You've done that on purpose. You're a cheeky little thing, you. What have you done? Right, there you go. Okay, finally ready for stain, and I had a bit of a dilemma. I didn't know whether to go light and bright or dark and moody. I'm not a big fan of light, I'll be honest. I do most of my things like more of wood tones and darker colours. It's just what I prefer. I think for this piece, the style of it and the fact I've done a lot of repairs on the veneer, I think I'm going to err on the side of a darker finish. So that's what I'm going to do. So hopefully you like it. I'm pretty sure it'll look good in the end, but we'll see. So let's get on with that. Right, this colour is Rosewood. Beautiful. For those that have watched my channel before, you'll know that I like to sort of make the details pop a little bit. So hopefully you can see this, but there's little dots all over. Now, I think I might know what this is. And I forgot to re-sand it. I left it out yesterday to dry and it rained on it for a few seconds and left drops on it. And obviously I've just left it to dry, but I think what that's done is slightly raised the grain where the drops have gone on it, and it's taken the stain in a different way. So I'm going to have to let this dry and just go over it with a bit of sandpaper just to flatten it off and then redo it. No big deal. Right, let's have a go at doing this hardware. They don't feel like brass, these, but they might be. The reason I'm doing these by hand and not on the polishing wheel is because I've done this before and they've been brass plated and I've burnt straight through the brass plating. Well, they're not magnetic, but that doesn't necessarily mean the brass. Right, I'll persevere with this. See if I can get them nice and shiny again. Right, I'm still not 100% sure whether these are brass or not. They don't seem to be at the back, but I really like how they've come up. I've had to pick out every little piece of fluff and dirt from these things. Then give it a brush, steel wool, polish and a buff. And that's where you get to. Right, I finally finished all these now, and it took me, because I was doing it by hand, it took me about an hour and a half. So anyway, they're all done. I'm just going to give these a coat of acrylic lacquer now to keep that shine. Right, while the stain's drying, we'll have a look at these that I put in the rust bath. So, it stinks. Right, I'm going to have to clean these up, so it'll be about an hour. It's taken me a long time, but I've got everything cleaned up now. And I've got all the screws which I'm going to spray. I'm going to spray some of this as well, but I just want to make sure it's completely dry before I put any paint on it. Right, it's time for top coat, and I'm going to use an acrylic lacquer. But before I do that, I'm going to put these oak panels back on in the contrasting colours. I didn't mark these, so I can't remember whether they actually go on a specific side, but we'll soon find out. Right, I'm going to have a quick look at this mirror, but on second look, I thought it was in reasonable condition. It's not in the best of condition. I guess it's just its age. This isn't too bad where the mirror has degraded at the edge. It adds a bit of character, but there's a big chip behind this bracket, and the one across the other side is the same. And it's also got, like, I'm hoping it'll clean off, but it feels like the glass is pitted. So I'm going to take it to pieces, give it a clean and see if there's anything we can do with it. If it doesn't come up to scratch, then I won't be using it. Right, I've made an executive decision with the mirror. I'm not happy with it, it looks a bit naff. The rest of it, I've got it to as near perfect as I can and spent a lot of time doing it, and this mirror just lets it down. So it's quite a deep dressing table vanity anyway, so you could get a really nice freestanding mirror on that. So I'm just going to leave it off. I'll keep hold of this, but what I'm going to do with it I don't know. But yeah, executive decision made, I'm not putting the mirror on. Don't go at me in the comments. I mentioned earlier that the top was in good condition, and there's a reason for that. I'll show you the reason now. It had this shaped piece of glass come with it, and it's in pretty decent condition. I'll clean this up. Whether I use it or not I don't know. I just like the natural wood top, but it might be useful. I am going to sell this piece, so I can sell it with this on. So I'll give this a clean out. You don't need to watch me do this, you've just watched me clean a mirror I'm not going to use. So yeah, I'll clean that up. We're coming towards the end of this video now, and it's been another long journey. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've certainly enjoyed doing this Art Deco piece. Like I say, this is one of my favourite styles of furniture, and it's been an absolute pleasure doing it with Cole on board as well. It's been nice to share the experience with somebody rather than just doing this on my own. If you have enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button to make sure you don't miss out on future videos like this. I'd like to say a massive thank you to everybody that supports the channel, whether that's through the Buy Me a Coffee or the Super Thanks button. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you go and check out Cole's video once you've seen this. I'll leave a link to his video on the end screen of this one, and I'll also leave a link in the video description. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.